the real reason you feel stuck, and it's not what you think. Welcome to the Self Concept Bestie podcast. I'm your host, Laura. Today I want to talk about something that I see so many people struggling with, and it's the feeling of being stuck. Stuck in life, stuck in your circumstances, stuck in a repeating pattern that you don't really know how to get out of. Maybe you feel like you're trying to improve your life. You're working on your mindset, you're doing the journaling, listening to the podcasts, looking up all of these techniques. How do we manifest something? How to get unstuck? But somehow you keep finding yourself back in the same patterns. Right back to the same thoughts, the same fears, and the same situations, repeating over and over and over again. And it can feel really, really frustrating because you think, why does it feel like everyone else is moving forward, but I'm still here? I'm still stuck. You start asking yourself, what is it I'm doing wrong? Where is it I'm going wrong? So then the doubts creep in, which then are going back. Guess what you're doing? We're giving that fear power again because nothing is, quote unquote, working. So in this episode, I want to explain the real reason why people feel stuck and why it's not actually what most people think it is. Can we just start off by saying it is not your circumstances? A lot of people think that they're stuck because of their circumstances. Maybe they think it's because of their job, their past, their relationship history, their finances, or something that's happened to them. But what I keep seeing time and time again, both in my own life and with women that I work with, is that the real thing keeping people stuck isn't their circumstances. It's the story their mind keeps repeating. It's the beliefs that were created in their relationships, in their past, in their job, around their finances. Your mind is constantly interpreting the world and creating meaning from the experiences. And I really need you to listen to this. Really listen. Because when a story has been repeated enough times, it starts to feel like truth. Your brain starts to believe that that is 100% truth. What if you look around? Because that truth for you isn't someone else's truth. So does that actually make it true? Or is it just a truth that you keep telling yourself? One of the most important things for us to understand is it's our brain's job isn't to make us happy. I've said it time and time again. Our brain's job is not here to make us happy. And I know, pretty annoying, right? Our brain's job is to keep us safe and familiar. It goes right back to the caveman days where that was that fight or flight to stay alive. But we're not in the caveman days anymore. We're not needing to go and fight lions for food. We're not needing to go and fish to hope that we can get something to eat. Or somebody's going to come and try and take over our clay hut. I don't even know if that is what happened, but hey, in my head, that's what has happened. Oh, so when your mind spent years thinking certain thoughts, like, I'm not good enough, people leave, things that never work out for me, I always struggle, life's hard. Those thoughts become familiar pathways in your brain. It becomes your new normal. It becomes your truth. Even if they don't feel good, they feel known. they feel like truth. They feel familiar. And the mind will always try to pull you back to what it feels is familiar. So that's why people that start improving their life, they start doing mindset work, they start journaling, they start meditating, they start seeing the patterns that are running in their life, and they're deciding they want to change it. But suddenly the brain goes, oh no, this is not safe. So guess what it does? Is it actually kicks up that fear, that doubt, the anxiety. Has any of you ever started any sort of mindset work, healing journey, and actually you start to feel worse? You start to feel like your brain is louder than ever. It's not because you're doing something wrong. It's because your brain's trying to return to what it knows. It's trying to keep you safe. It's trying to keep you in that familiar. Now, I go on about awareness. And there's one thing that I know about me is my self-awareness is off the scale. And I funnily say it's my greatest strength, but it's also my biggest weakness. Being able to look at my patterns and actually 9 times out of 10 having a memory that comes up from where it's came from. But not only that, I actually can see patterns in other people. I can see behind their mask that empathy, that self-awareness. It allows me to understand myself and other people, but it also allows me to, what's the right words I'm looking for here? God, it's not like me stuck for words. When people aren't self-aware and they're repeating their patterns, if you try to, or if you want to help them or see who they can be, sometimes allows you to stay too long, sometimes allows you to forgive more easily, which is in a way a great thing because you should always lead in love and keep yourself right. But if somebody can't see where they're going wrong, it's not up to anybody else to fix but them. So anyway, I digress. So a lot of people do get to the stage, right, where they're aware of their thoughts. So they're aware of what they're thinking, they're starting to hear what they're thinking, they can notice them. They can, and they can actually start to figure out where their mind is starting to spiral. But that awareness alone doesn't change the pattern. The awareness is, can I say, half the battle, but it doesn't change the pattern because you're still emotionally reacting to the thoughts. So your mind still feels like it's in control. So you can be aware of them, but their emotional charge is still there. You're still reacting to them. So your brain's like, oh, well, I've got this. I've got this. I'm still familiar. I'm still staying safe. But the real change happens when you learn how to lead your mind instead of being led by it. And this is something that I am so passionate about. I'm passionate about teaching it. I'm passionate about embodying it. Because see, once you've learned how to regulate your mind and your emotional state, everything starts to shift. When you can stop feeling like your thoughts are controlling you, you stop reacting to every fear, every doubt that pops up. You start creating that space between you and the stories that your mind is running. That is where real change happens. This is why I created something called the CALM method. I've been sitting for, I would say, at least the last month. I'm here to help people improve their life, improve their circumstances, and help people change, stop their brain leading them and them leading their mind. And as someone who has went through depression and pulled herself out of it, who has went through anxiety and pulled herself out of it, who has overhauled my life with self-concept work, and who is now being able to help people access beliefs at a subconscious level and change them, it started getting me thinking that, how did I actually do it? So that's the real question everybody wants to know, isn't it? If they're coming, they want to work with me, they want to know, how did I do that? Like, what is it that I am going to be able to do to help them? What tools can I give them so I could, and I don't even feel it is never selling, because you can't sell changing your life, FYI. But when you can tell people that they're what you can do and what you've done, but their brains will be saying, but how? But how? And that was the bit that I've been struggling with, because intuitively, I know what I've done. I know how I pulled myself out of every stage of my mental health. I know how I consciously, every single day, choose to be aware of it, on top of it, and I don't allow my thoughts to lead me, I lead them. I know how I've done that. But how do I articulate that to somebody else? And that's the bridge that I've been really looking at. So I've sat and I've really looked at each stage of my life, worked back, and I've created the CALM method, and it's exactly what I've done. Now, just down on paper. So it's a framework that I will now help people to understand their mind, separate from their thoughts, regulate their emotional state, and help to start stepping into that new identity. Because see, once you've learned how to lead your mind, you stop living in survival mode, and you start creating a life from a calmer, clearer place. So, I'm going to go over, what does CALM stand for? C, conscious awareness. Like we discussed earlier, being able to be consciously aware of what the thoughts are, what they're running, what they're saying to you. And actually, when you can see what thought comes up and your reaction and emotion on the back of that, and then what action you take after that thought has appeared. So, thought comes up in your mind, you're wanting to go, I don't know, like you're going to want to go and do something that is maybe a wee bit out your norm. And initially you're like, yep, right, let's go. I'm going to do this. But if you don't act on it right away, because the initial thoughts are, I'm not good enough, I'm too embarrassed, or can I do that on my own? Because they thoughts, you then don't take that action. But what if that action was the one thing that's going to move you forward? So guess what? You've not took the action, we stay stuck in the same circle, in the same pattern. A, accept and separate. So we have to be able to accept our thoughts, so we can hear that you're not good enough, you're too embarrassing, and be like, okay, I hear you. I hear you telling me this. I hear these thoughts, but they don't define me anymore. That I know actually I'm good enough. That I know I'm not embarrassing for the right people. That people may judge me, but it's up to me to feel that judgment. So you can accept your thoughts for what they are. We don't need to fight them. We accept them. Like, okay, yep, I hear you, you're there. But we separate ourselves from them. We don't decide to let it run our life. We look at them and decide that that's not our truth. We make that conscious choice. On to L. You lead your mind. So it moves on smoothly, like what I was just saying. You make that conscious choice. You now lead where your thoughts go. You now lead with the actions regardless of the thoughts. You get to decide. Even when it feels hard, even when your brain is possibly screaming at you, you choose to lead your mind. You choose to do it anyway. You start becoming aware of what you want to do, where your thoughts go, and then what stops you from doing it. You move anyway. Because what you're doing is you're leading your mind, you're teaching your mind that it is safe. Oh, and then that moves beautifully onto M, where we move into that identity. So when you are then taking these actions that your brain does not feel as familiar, but you're not allowing the charge of the old thoughts to hold you back, what you start doing is you start moving into a new identity. You start training your brain of a new identity, a new awareness. New thoughts, new power go into the right thoughts because you are leading. And not only are you just leading your mind with the thoughts, you're leading it in your actions, you're leading it in your emotions. You are not letting them overrule you. You're not allowing that fear to hold you back. So what happens is you start to repeat these new actions and you're not giving power to the old ones. You start proving something to your mind that this new identity is safe, that the way we move now is safe, that guess what? You trust you. You trust yourself because your brain's screaming at you not to do something, but you go and do it anyway. So guess what happens? It's like, okay, we didn't die then. Nothing actually major bad happened at that point. I'm still here. I'm still alive. Okay, that actually means it's slightly safe. So then you're training your brain, you're giving it new neural pathways, you're creating new connections in your mind of what now safety looks like. I hope that you, when you're hearing this, that you can really see how that method moves fluidly from step to get you out of your own head and starting to live a life that you choose presently. If this episode resonated with you and you're someone who's ready to start leading your mind instead of feeling controlled by it, I've created a free calm method guide. It walks you through the basics of this work. You can download it through the link in the show notes through my link tree. That also gives you access to my Facebook, my TikTok and my Instagram. And also you can drop me an email at younowImagined@gmail.com, which is also in the show notes for any other information. I'm also currently creating, I am so excited. So excited. I'm creating something really, really exciting. And it's my inner circle. This is going to be a space for women who want to go deeper into this work together. So if it sounds like something that you'd love to be a part of, make sure you keep an eye on all the links on my link tree as well. And please, if this has resonated with you or you know someone that this will resonate with, go ahead and share it with them. Because it's all fine and well us listening. We can listen. We can listen to all the advice. We can listen. But it's not until we start implementing. It's not until we start choosing. So if you've been listening to this episode and you're like, oh my God, yes, Laura, yes, go ahead and download that free workbook. It's free. What have you got to lose? It's a little bit bedtime reading for you. But maybe, just maybe, you're ready to step into your power and change your life. And when you are, you know where I am. As always, thank you so much for listening. And today is already an amazing day.